He just goes outside and says, hey, buddy. And that clumsy drunk Santa, I'll say it, he's drunk. He immediately falls down like he's never been on a roof, never been seen by a person, never, like, this is what you do, my man.
You would think if there's one thing you're good at as Santa, it's walking on a roof.
And being surprised. You know how many kids sleep in their living room? Try to catch them. I sleep in my hallway. Try to catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always did that.
Yep.
But I think Brock's right, though. I mean, I think he was set up. He's probably drugged. There's just a lot going on that we're not seeing.
Deleted scenes left at the cutting room floor. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hello and welcome to Load Bearing Beams. I'm jolly old Matt Stokes.
And I'm Grinchy Poo Lacey Roth. I don't know why I said that like
yes,
that.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And joining us, he just thudded onto our roof and then fell over. We're going to go check and see if he's okay.
Oh, if I jump into his clothes, I get to take over his TikTok followers.
Who is it? Who's here with us?
We got Movie Talk with Brock.
How's it going?
Yes. Hi, Brock.
Hello.
Happy to have you on to talk about the Santa Claus. We had this movie on the docket. It's actually been a long time coming that we've wanted to talk about this movie because it is very much a load-bearing beam for me. For you, Lacey, is it?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
You're a few years older than me.
Let's bring that up. Is that my Christmas present? Asshole.
And we wanted to have you on with us, Brock, and you said you would like to have a cheesy 90s movie.
You specifically requested cheesy 90s. We served it to you on a co-parenting platter.
That's right.
Tell us about yourself, sir.
Yes, so I am. My name is not Movie Talk Brock. My name is Brock, aka Movie Talk with Brock. I'm on TikTok, for now, Instagram, YouTube. I guess Facebook. I should plug that as well. Same on X, Twitter, whatever. I'm not. There's too many socials to keep up with. I'm not on Blue Sky.
Come to Blue Sky with us, please.
Maybe I will.
9 followers. You can be number 10.
Oh no, we're up to 30 now.
Oh fuck yeah, you could be 31.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. So yeah, and I cover all things movies. I do sports as well, TV. I'm kind of known for the guy on TikTok that I know. I roast Ned's Declassified cast right now. That's kind of what's working for me.
What? Sorry, what is this?
What do you do?
Ned's Declassified. I roast that cast because they want to reboot. So I just did another video on them that like went stupid viral, which is stupid, but that's how the internet works.
You go stupid viral, do you?
You're a younger person than us.
How much younger is he? Because we'll kick him off real fast.
Explain what this is. Ned's Declassified.
So Nickelodeon, right? I mean, we're kind of in the age of the reboot, right? Every child star gets on a podcast and talks about like a show, and they're kind of like one of the next to do it, but they're really cringy. And they made fun of Drake Bell after like The Quiet on the Set came out, that documentary. So yeah. It's you guys can check it out after the episode. It's one of my 10 videos.
Okay. But how old are you, sir?
I am 28 years
old.
Get
the fuck out of here. You're in a whole other deck of cards than I'm 40. I'm 40.
No. So it's like 2000s. It's kind of my wheelhouse. Like when I talk about like culture stuff, because that's obviously where I grew up in. So, but yeah, I talk about whatever I really want to talk about. But movies is my wheelhouse. I am a film critic, officially a part of association, but somehow they have me. But I talk about just kind of whatever. But I love movies.
I want to hear, as a 2000s kid, what your perspective is on Tim Allen, because I mean, he was so omnipresent for us.
He's such a big
as
deal
a
to
TV and movie star, but I feel like it did kind of burn out there around, I don't know what year. So yeah, I mean, tell Tim Allen from a 2000s perspective. What's your association with him?
What's your jungle to jungle?
Yeah, so the first Tim Allen movie I actually remember seeing in theaters was Shaggy Dog. I don't know if you guys remember that movie with Robert Downey Jr., like that remake. And like, actually, I really liked that movie as a kid because it was goofy, of course. But I mean, I knew him as Buzz Lightyear because I was really into movies. So I'd always look up on like the internet. Like,
forgot he was Buzz Lightyear.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Buzz Lightyear. And like we would watch like reruns of Home Improvement, but he was predominantly the Santa Claus, because we had Santa Claus 2 that came out in 2004, and then the Santa Claus 3, which we took a class field trip, I remember, in 2007 to go see that. And that was like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like we're getting to go see this. Yeah, that's why I really knew him for those movies. Why? So I mean, was very well aware of him, but like more of his voice than his face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because in the 90s, he was a major stand-up in the 80s and then in the early 90s. And then he has Home Improvement, which is an enormous show with, I feel like, no legacy whatsoever.
I'm still in the JTT fan club. I still get a postcard.
I feel like people's all people like remember it for is like, wasn't it weird when the young kid turned into a goth? Or like,
forgot about that.
Like it was as popular a show as Friends or Seinfeld.
Oh, wow.
It was way more.
It
was way more popular than The Simpsons. But I feel like it is it's kind of vanished.
God, you're right. It didn't.
Yeah.
There's no merch.
You just made me remember something. It ran on Nick at Night. I remember watching Home Improvement Nick at Night when my parents would let us stay up. Like after like that 9:30, 10, we would watch it. It would be like Home Improvement, Fresh Prince, and then Friends. And so like that's how, back before we could stream
that's on fucking Nick at Night. Do you know what I watched on Nick at Night, Brock? I watched I Love Lucy, Mary Tyler Moore, and fucking the Bob Newhart show. Jeez.
No, but the Nick at Night window from like when something ran to when it showed up on Nick at Night, like it shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and
like
shrunk.
Technology.
Oh yeah.
Just going faster and faster.
Yeah. Also a movie star had a famously, when the Santa Claus came out, he had the #1 book on the bestseller list. Tim Allen's book.
Never writes a book.
Never Trust a Naked Man, I believe it's called. He had the #1 movie in the Santa Claus, and he had the #1 show on TV in Home Improvement.
So I wonder between him and Jim Carrey, who had the bigger 1994 then? Probably Jim Carrey still then.
It's because Jim Carrey 94, he had 3 movies. He had the Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, and
Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
He did all 3 of those in 1 year.
I think
that's amazing.
I think the having the #1 show puts Tim Allen on top, and then the next year he had Toy Story.
Oh wow.
You're right. Gosh.
But Jim Carrey obviously became a bigger movie star. But watching this movie, I was impressed with him. This is his first movie. He's a sitcom actor, and I think he translates really well to the movie screen. Like whenever we do a movie with a sitcom actor, like when we did The Whole 9 Yards with Matthew Perry, I was complaining like he's acting like he's on Friends. Like acting in a movie is very different. And I feel like Tim Allen really actually kind of nails it in this movie.
I love For Richer, For Poorer.
And I watched Galaxy Quest this week for the first time in 20 years. And
Did it?
Oh, it's great.
Damn.
And he's great.
He's fucking funny. He's got great timing. And he looks like a dad, like a good-looking dad. No, he's not overly hot or anything.
There's his wardrobe in this movie. I was like, my dad wore all of this. My dad would wear the button-down shirt tucked into the pants with the belts. It was, it was very
dad.
Very dad.
Super dad, Bob.
Okay. What business do we have to attend to here? Well, folks, if you tune into our social media, you can see the exclusive video we have with Brock, wherein we share our recent Christmas classics. Which movies from the past 5 years
are going to get locked in?
Yes,
locked into the time capsule and brought into the milieu. Is that the right word? Of things like Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, Elf.
Yes,
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's hard to see the present from the perspective of the future, but we're trying. We're putting on our. I don't know. Opening our third eye, trying to see it. And you can find that on our Twitter, Load-Bearing Pod, our Instagram, Load-Bearing Beams, our TikTok, Load.Bearing.Beams, and I guess our Blue Sky, Load-Bearing Beams. But Blue Sky...
See a minute of it anyway.
You can't post videos longer than a minute, so I don't know. I got to figure something out
I want you to cut all of our videos off at someone mid-sentence, just leaving them wanting more.
I can give that a try, yes. I'd love more work.
I like that idea. Cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd love more work. Okay, so check all of that out. And also, people, as we mentioned last week, our Patreon launches January 1st. Patreon.com/loadbearing beams. 2 bonus episodes a month for $5 a month. Sign up for Load-Bearing Beams Collector's Edition. All right, let's all talk. We talked our histories with Tim Allen, but what about the Santa Claus specifically? Brock, what's your history with this movie?
So back in my day, in the 2000s, And like it makes me sad because like we really don't do it anymore. Like this was definitely one of the movies we always watched on the ABC Family 25 Days of Christmas. If you guys remember that, like that as a kid was like that, like every night, like because again we own some movies on DVDs, but it was just like we wanted to come together, like and watch movies. Like right when we got our homework done, we got dinner done, we watched a movie on ABC Family Christmas, and then it was time for bed. That's kind of was our jam. And I grew up with divorced parents. And so I relate to this movie, and going back and watching the movie, actually, I liked it a lot more than I thought I had. So isn't always one that gets in the rotation, but I enjoyed it a lot more. But yeah, we always watched it. And then like as the trilogy came out and finished, we had always watched, 1, 2, 3 growing up. And so, just completed that. Didn't watch the show that came out a couple years ago. I heard it's actually pretty good. I might check it out.
So I had never seen the sequels. I've seen the first one a million times, although it had been a long, long time since I'd actually watched it. But like the sequel, Santa Claus 2 comes out and I'm in high school and I'm like, no, that's for babies. I'm never going to see that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
This week I watched all 3 movies, one day, the second, the next day, the third, the day after that. These movies are insane. These sequels are wild.
Yes, they are.
The second one's like almost a good movie. The third one, I'm convinced the third one is like a straight to streaming movie made 20 years before streaming was a thing. Like it is so like small scale. It's all takes place in like one room. And it goes in
a bottle episode.
It becomes like a Back to the Future 2 or like one of the or like a Shrek 4, where it's like, let's make a sequel where part of the movie is, hey, what if the first movie never happened? Oh, let's view an alternate reality.
And thank you.
And the sequels became more kid-esque. Like there wasn't as much for adults, I feel like, as there was in the first one.
The first one is rated PG. The second 2 are rated G. And the first one, I have this in the history segment. Like it started as a more, let's say, a PG-13 or even like a Bad Santa style movie that really, really got sanded down into a family-friendly movie.
I'm glad it did. I love how much Tim Allen I got and how much I didn't.
Okay.
I like him non-problematic. That's where I like him. I don't need him making titty jokes. Nope. Or whatever he was going to do.
No, I mean famously the original script had him thinking there was a burglar on his roof and shooting Santa with a gun.
He mentions a gun going off is a little bit jarring when he says it. There were guns going off. There were.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also like turns into like a sad divorced kid drama, and he gets his parental rights stripped. So it's a dark movie. Okay, Lacey, what's your history with the Santa Claus?
I liked it. Loved it. I always liked it. But it's been years since I've seen it. I love Tim Allen, so this is a really good kid actor. Anyway, just one of those. If you say it, I'm going to be like, that's a solid movie right there. But I hadn't seen it in years, so I'm always ready for these things to be horrific.
But it seemed like you had a good time with it.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, you were laughing a lot.
I cried at the end. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Because we usually watch it together, but we had to watch it separately. And I said, what'd you think? And you said, yeah, I cried.
Like, I need to go to therapy.
You said when the mom finally believes.
Realized, I got teary-eyed. It's just, I needed them all to believe the kid, and it was such a relief that everyone believed everyone. Like, I just needed that conflict to go away.
That is a thing you struggle with, is kids not being believed.
Oh.
And this kid in particular, who we spent time with earlier this year in Heart and Souls, when he's haunted by ghosts and no one believes him that.
This poor goddamn kid.
My history is I saw this movie in theaters and loved it. And it was probably like my family's number one Christmas movie for a long time. But I had not seen it. I had not seen it in, I don't know how long, 20 years or more.
It had to be before we understood what it was like to be splitting custody, because that part really got to me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I have some distance with this movie because this movie feels different now. And I'm connecting with it for different reasons.
Yeah, I didn't love it the way Lacey did. I think it's a good solid movie. I think that I don't think this director knows what he's doing. He's a sitcom director, and I think the movie looks like shit and doesn't know how to handle the wild tone swings. But and just we've back to back we watched Home Alone 2, directed by Chris Columbus, and then we did While You Were Sleeping, directed by John Turteltaub. And I was thinking either of those directors would have made this movie just would have made it really, really something special versus it just looks so chintzy and like the sets all look, I don't know. They look like community theater flat. What did you?
CGI is not held up as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, the CGI. Oh, but like
it's almost cute.
No, that's I kind of find those things charming. I'm just talking like basic things like the way the North Pole looks.
It looks flat.
Yeah, it looks really flat. But what did you think of it? Just general thoughts visiting it again this time.
I liked it. Like I said, I didn't love it. Like we watched it with my daughter. Like I don't think any kid's gonna be entertained by this today because it is kind of just like you said, it's like a divorced kid drama. Again, which I related to that. Like because again, growing up, that's how it was with Christmases. We always split them every year with my mom and my dad. But I think it's just it's good. It's fine. It's very good. Like it gets me. I like the ending.
Yes.
There's a couple of scenes that just like really irritated me, like with the mom storming him off like in a soccer game. I'm like, chill out.
I know, let him finish the fucking game. You're making this so weird. I mean, like you're the one that's married to a shrink. You're fucking him up, madam.
Yeah, exactly.
He got his little cleats on and everything. Just let him kick the ball.
That's there's a lot of really wild reactions to things and almost like, hey, we got to get things moving here. So let's do something really dramatic, like storm out of the soccer game.
I didn't mean to wear the exact same thing Santa's wearing in this fucking picture that you got on the screen.
We're going to talk now about the history of the Santa Claus. But first, we have to talk about the history of Santa Claus himself.
Do we?
Oh, we do. This is so important. So Saint Nicholas was a 4th century AD Christian bishop in Turkey during the reign of the Eastern Roman Empire. The patron saint of children, known for giving gifts to people secretly. And then in the 1600s, the English Civil War between the royalists and the parliamentarians resulted for a brief time. During which the monarchy of England was abolished. Now Parliament rules the country, and Parliament is dominated by the Puritans, who abolish Christmas. Christmas is too Catholic. Into this environment, the symbol of Father Christmas really took off as propaganda for the old ways, let's bring back the monarchy. Let's bring back old England when Father Christmas was around.
We need a daddy. We need daddy and Big Brother.
Exactly.
Bring him here. He gives us all of our tuppence.
Exactly.
Okay.
At the time, Father Christmas had no association with children. He was a symbol of Christmas time, feasting and merriment.
That explains the wreath around his head. He looks like a Greek god.
Meanwhile, in the Low Countries of Europe, I'm talking the Netherlands, Belgium,
We're talking
Luxembourg,
super low.
the legendary figure of Santa Claus emerged based on St. Nicholas. It's just St. Nicholas in Dutch. And he has a long white beard. He rides a big white horse and he carries around a book logging the names of children and whether they've been naughty or nice.
This guy's a fucking predator.
Well, here's what happened.
Think about it.
Freddy Krueger before Freddy Krueger.
Yes. It's Santa Claus, bitch.
I put your name in my little book in Jagen.
Yeah, but how do you feel about gold?
I love gold.
Every year there is a...
Wrong. I did this. I did Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
You were going for gold member.
There is a national Santa Claus who arrives in November via steamship. And then he gets off and starts a parade and throws...
He starts no permits.
Just starts throwing the treats to the kids. Thus begins the Christmas season. This culminates on December 6th, the feast of Santa Claus.
He's dressed like the Pope.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a religious figure.
He is so Catholic.
Now, Santa Claus, of course, is accompanied by his loyal assistant / slave, Black Pete, who punishes the naughty children. And this character is, of course, performed traditionally in blackface.
No.
Although now no, that's soot. He's covered in soot because he goes down the chimney, you see.
It's still blackface.
So,
soot face.
Black Pete has receded in popularity in recent years because of this.
Like 5 years ago, though.
Oh, no. It is absolutely true. The 2020, when the George Floyd protests happened 4 years ago, and they're like, hey, we'd like...
And this is in the Netherlands we're still talking?
Oh, yeah. They're like, hey, we'd like, reform for police. We'd like a less brutal treatment. They're like, how about instead we get rid of Black Pete? How about instead we
Wait,
that's crazy.
Matt.
Yes.
Wait, in the movie The Witch.
That's Black Phillip. Yeah.
Okay.
The goat from Robert Edgars' The Vivitch. Okay. Santa Claus also seems to have been a Christianization of Odin from Norse and Germanic mythology. He gave secret presents during the festival of Yule. Guys, this is all so important. Thank you for bearing with me. In the 17th and 18th...
I love this stuff, by the way, Matt.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was so excited. I spent so much time reading about all of this. In the 17th and 18th centuries, Dutch immigrants to North America brought the legend of Santa Claus to the New World. Over time, it transmogrified into Santa Claus, an anglicization of Santa Claus. I went to a private school for 2 years in 6th and 7th grade.
Brag.
It was like a secular private school for bougie little kids in Mandeville, Louisiana. And there were a number of Dutch kids in this school. And it's one of those things where only later did I realize what was going on, which is like, oh, the Shell was a big employer in New Orleans at the time.
Yes.
Shell is a Dutch company, Royal Dutch Shell. So they just sent a bunch of people, and then they started this private school where they could send their kids. But at the school, they would do a lot of like Dutch things. So we learned all about Sinterklaas.
A lot of windmills.
Sinterklaas came and visited us. So I know all about Sinterklaas.
You say it again.
You're gonna love Matt. You're gonna love Klaus on Netflix just after if you like love all this stuff. I'm excited for you to watch.
Yes, because when you said that, that's exactly what I was thinking. I love all this shit, so I'm excited to watch that movie.
And he's sad that he missed the era of Black Pete. So this should really get.
You gotta
get that in.
Look, I'm not saying I support it. I'm just.
I want to see what that's like.
All right. In the 19th century, Santa Claus, the legend of Santa Claus, then went back to England. And England's like, hey, we like this. So they merge it with Father Christmas. They're the same person now. Santa Claus, Father Christmas, they're all the same.
Just like Jesus and the spirit of Jesus. And
well, that's why I love this stuff, because like you see the way these things transform over time, and then they're like, hey, we like that sort of attribute, so now we'll graft that onto this cultural figure that we have.
Just like my phone is a camera, is other stuff too.
It's just like
that.
So here's my question: in 500 years, are people going to watch the movie The Santa Claus, and they're going to be like, hey, in 1994, that's when people started to believe that Santa Claus falls off your roof and dies, and then you become Santa Claus. That's when we started to believe that.
No.
No, you don't think so?
No.
I'm gonna say no.
But it's not like the entire world shifted and we started making movies all about that. There's just one movie.
Yeah, but this one might be the one that survives.
You're being a silly little fuck, aren't you?
No, this one might survive, and they'll say this is what people believed back then.
No one's gonna do that.
All right, well, we'll talk now about the origins of the movie itself. So, the idea for this movie starts with screenwriters Leo Benvenuti and Steve Rudnick. They were a comedy writing team. They were sketch performers. They wrote for television, and they had their idea for a movie, their first movie that they would write, starting with the premise, what if you killed Santa Claus and then you had to be Santa Claus?
He's really disposable. They give no fucks about Santa Claus the person. I'm just saying, this is like Amazon and its factory workers.
If you like pull apart what's going on in this movie, like how many times has this happened? The elves are so nonplussed at the arrival of the new Santa Claus.
Give zero shits.
Yeah, this probably happens all of the time.
And seem annoyed, honestly.
It's so unremarkable,
I'll have to send a video to you guys, but there's a YouTube video about how it's a theory, and it's like 10 minutes about how you can see elves in the movie before he dies, and like they were setting up the Santa Claus to be Scott Calvin, like they wanted him to die. It's some deep stuff, and I was like, holy crap. Yeah, this might affect your future viewing, but it makes sense, a lot of the stuff they say. So maybe they didn't like the Santa Claus.
Okay, right. So maybe they weighed down his suit.
Right, and then the pajamas, they know this man's name is already SC, the pajamas are going to fit. Yeah. It just saves. It's like the same reason why you name, if you're going to put your kids through private school, you name them with the same initials.
He's a single dad, so he doesn't always have to be with his kid,
So he was selected. This is all happening by design. We think we're in control of our lives, but really there are forces behind the scenes pulling us in all directions. Pushing. All right.
Comet kicked him.
So the script, the title of the movie, Such a Clatter, and it was optioned by Outlaw Productions, which immediately said to these screenwriters, hey, we have lots and lots of notes for you. And the screenwriter said, we didn't know what we were doing, so we just accepted all their changes and incorporated them into the movie. Wow. Then the movie...
I can't believe they resisted making Scott Calvin an attorney with the whole Santa Claus thing.
It's a good point, but it's like we've talked about this on the show. There was like, I think in the 90s it was like, my job is business. I do business for my job.
Yeah, but they do bother telling you what. But it's nice because they also, they picked him. He literally designs and makes toys. He already understands the industry.
Yeah, I mean that's like the thematic link. He needs to learn. Christmas isn't so corporate. It's not about distributing toys. It's about
not how much you can flip your phone, but how much you can flip your heart. I knew it. Okay, it was there all along.
Then the project gets picked up by Disney, and Jeffrey Katzenberg orders even more rewrites to make it into a proper Disney film. I mean, this is a classic thing that happens. A studio sees a script and they're like, we don't really like the script, but we like the premise. So we'll buy the whole thing just so we can make it into our own thing. But these two writers, they do receive full screenwriting credit, but they did not seem to have any involvement with the future of the franchise. But they went on to write Space Jam and the Will Ferrell movie Kicking and Screaming.
I like both those movies. Those are both good, yeah.
All right, let's talk Tim Allen.
Okay.
There are lots of reports about different actors considered for the role. Tom Hanks and Bill Murray. And John Pasquin, the director of the movie, said Bill Murray was the first choice, but he passed. But Home Improvement was a massive show, and it was produced by Disney. And Disney was really going all in on synergy. We want, if you act in our TV shows, we want you in our movies, and we want to sign you to our music label and put you in the theme parks. And
keep you in the family.
Yes, that project's still ongoing.
We've already groomed you, so we don't want to keep grooming other people. Just keep on going through the system, baby.
Tim Allen's in the Disney stable, and they think this guy has movie star potential, so this is the perfect vehicle to launch him. He was 40 years old at the time of production. He grew up in Denver, but moved as a teenager to Birmingham, Michigan. Yes, Lisa.
So there's still time for me.
Exactly.
Also 40. Time. Also looking like a snack. I could be Mrs. Clausen.
You also can get arrested for cocaine trafficking.
That's what this gentleman did.
Which happened to Tim Allen in 1978. He was arrested at the Kalamazoo airport for possessing 650 grams of cocaine.
He's the thing that Blow was based on. I love it.
Dude, I feel like most people know this about Tim Allen, and then they know the other thing about him with the cocaine. What is it, Lacey?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Brock, do you know? What did Tim Allen do?
Did he kill someone?
What?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. That's right.
Tim Allen named names. He got himself a very nice plea deal by naming all the other drug dealers he knew. Still, he served 2 years, 4 months in federal prison. Which, like, I always knew he went to prison, but like that's a longer time than I thought.
Dang.
So he got out in 1981 and then moved to LA and started his comedy career.
Okay.
Like, what a life.
We started talking about Disney stars, and I mistook him for the guy who played Mr. Mosley in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He killed someone.
Oh.
I'm getting my Disney stars mixed up. Yeah, there you go. Fun fact for your audience.
Did he get to put on that man's clothes and then do his life, or?
I do not believe that was the case.
I'd love a video. You should make it, Brock. Actors who have killed people.
And princes.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah. Just hit somebody with his car. He didn't mean to.
I hate Matthew Broderick.
So Home Improvement debuts in 1991. This sitcom is based on his stand-up comedy. He gets on stage. He's like, you know how you need more power with your tools? And it's a huge fucking
He's so funny.
show. But at the time, it was very uncommon for TV stars to cross over into movies.
Well, they didn't know who they were fucking with, okay? Because Disney is a pioneer. And then they're all that exists.
John Pasquin is hired as the director. He is a longtime TV director, including 39 episodes of, you guessed it,
Home Improvement,
including the pilot. So, like, this is a movie directed by a first-time director and starring a TV star. And,
the TV star's first time in a movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think this movie really does look like a TV director directed it.
I would agree.
It looks so flat, like Brock said.
I see what you're saying now. Like, especially when they pull up to the North Pole and it's just like two fake hills of powder snow and then a pole that comes up. It looks like it's been done in a set or even a stage.
Well, and like even like all the houses he goes to deliver presents, the rooms are just lit, or just totally lit. They're fully lit up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Like maybe take a little time to try to figure out how to light this so that you can create some atmosphere and suggest, you know what, it's nighttime. It's not the middle of the day.
Take a little look at the M&M's commercial where they do exist.
It does exist.
Oh,
yeah, see, that's
one of my favorite commercials. Oh, I love that commercial.
That's the right lit amount.
Yeah, look to the commercial. John Pasquin, longtime collaborator of Tim Allen. He directed Jungle to Jungle and Joe Somebody, dozens of episodes of Tim Allen's show Last Man Standing. And guys, Tim Allen has a new sitcom coming out on ABC in January. It's called Shifting Gears. It stars Tim Allen, Kat Dennings, and Sean William Scott. And who's directing the pilot? Why, John Pasquin, of course.
Wow.
He knows what he's doing by now, Matt.
It's so great. Like, it's so surprising that they haven't just rebooted Home Improvement.
I think it's sweet. You can tell that they are just guys that are good guys, maybe. Or at least they're two guys like doing bad together. They're best friends. I
Lacey
like it.
loves Tim Allen.
I really do.
I love it.
And agrees with him politically, I believe.
What does he say? But Matt, don't ruin him for me.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh.
He's a conservative. He's like tons of Hollywood people are. He's just more vocal about it.
No.
But I thought that this was notable because it's like, it's just this like, what year is this? This is a sitcom that's just going to debut on ABC and it stars a bunch of people I've heard of.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
This movie was a big hit. It makes almost $200 million worldwide on a $22 million budget, followed by a surprisingly successful sequel in 2002, and then a less successful sequel in 2006. And then a Disney Plus series in 2022 and 2023, which seems like it was a Disney saying sorry to Tim Allen for the whole Buzz Lightyear thing.
What'd they do to the Buzz Light? What they did him?
They made a Buzz Lightyear movie without him.
Oh, rude, Disney.
Yeah, and it bombed hard.
It did. I don't know that it was. I mean, I don't think it was because Tim Allen wasn't in it, but I think that actually might have played a part.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely did. It definitely did. Like, that was a big criticism just because it's like he's so synonymous. That's not. I'm not. You know what I'm trying to say.
I do know.
Yeah, with that role, and like even me, I was like Chris Evans, and I hear Tim Allen when it's Buzz Lightyear.
There's a certain amount of like loving the smell of your own shit that he just is perfect with, just the same as Will Ferrell can do it. This just so very sure of himself while also blundering and still making it look good anyway.
He's a really good smug asshole.
That asshole is smug and tight.
Who you nevertheless like, and then he does a good job of transforming over the course of the movie.
Yeah,
he does.
That's the Santa Claus. This movie opens with the classic Disney 2D castle. It warmed my heart to see.
Oh, I thought we were at an office party. I was already dancing. I didn't know what you were going to say.
Then it's the office Christmas party. But it was jarring for me. I watched the 3 Santa Claus movies over the course of a week and then went back to the first one today to watch it again. And the second and third movies are so like G-rated kids family Christmas movies.
So there's no secretaries sitting on bosses' laps.
Yeah.
But even like this, like first 10 seconds, you're at an office. The font is Courier New. So it's like, hey, this is business. This is important business. It was whiplash to experience that.
Okay.
And there's an office Christmas party, and this looks like a pretty fun party. And then Peter Boyle.
Multi-level.
Peter Boyle is the boss of this company, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the boss, and I have a speech to make about our corporation. We've done a great job in marketing and distribution, and now here comes Scott Calvin to tell you some more about it.
Great synopsis, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but this is all just like lorem ipsum, like we are business people doing business things.
Acme business handles.
Yeah, distribution list, supply chains.
Yeah, quarterly numbers. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Give me the Q1s on my desk by Monday morning.
So they bring Scott Calvin up to give a speech, and he's very good as this just shitty, smarmy guy who communicates to you. This guy, he's all about business. He can talk the language of caring about his family, but as he says, our family's not here. This is what my life's actually about.
Well, and he's late to he's a co-parent that's getting the lucky card of getting Christmas night. As people who have co-parented, we know that's the big show, baby. And he's late. And he's already making up excuses as to why he's late getting to his house. He's late because of this. Also, who has a fucking work Christmas party on Christmas Eve? I call bullshit. But anyway,
I would never. Yeah, I would never.
Who would? It's stupid. Everything happens on Christmas Eve in these goddamn movies.
Yeah, I think that's like the we decorate on Christmas Eve, or it's just like we're so obsessed with working that we don't even care that it's Christmas Eve.
But all of them don't care. You think all of them are getting the Tim Allen bucks? I don't think so. But also, it immediately doesn't match up because you get to his house, he's got a tree that they try to be like, oh, it's decorated like shit. Yeah, but he decorated a tree by himself without a kid. And he planned an entire feast for some fucking reason and even attempts to cook it with full turkey. This man did a lot of pre-planning for his kid. They tried to set him up as like kind of cold, but I don't know, maybe they're letting you know like, no, he's got Santa in him this whole time because they're actually, even when they're at their most strained, he's really sweet. He doesn't take it out on Charlie, that Charlie is aggravated. He gives Charlie he knows he earned it.
Yeah, he has it, or he always cares, even if he's not able to make it happen.
Yeah, Charlie kind of comes in ungrateful though. Like when he's like, "I thought you said there'd be more gifts." Like there was a decent amount of gifts under the tree too. I'm like, "This kid's got an attitude problem. I don't like that."
No, this little piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's got a very stable mom and stepdad, and dad just keeps letting him down. So, he's spending his Christmas night not at the house he wants. You can tell he's not at the house he wants because he brings a pillow from that house, which is the big tell of this is not my house. That is my house.
That's a great observation. But it's also, Tim Allen's like, he pulls out a cookbook and he's like, I'm going to make this giant turkey feast, which like no kid gives a shit about that.
No one wants to watch you do this either.
But that is like the single parent, like divorced dad energy of like, no, I'm going to show how much I care by putting all this work into a project rather than like all he actually wants is like, just spend time with me, go do something with me, or let's go do something special, just us.
And it's interesting that he doesn't do like the most dad thing, which is just order pizza.
Yeah.
Every kid likes pizza, but it is pretty perfect that they end up at Denny's. It just seems like a late fucking night. I mean, even just getting food into the child seems like we're already pretty late.
That's true. What were they doing for the 4 hours? But wait, I just wanted to say something about the cell phone. He's on the car phone to his wife, and he's like, "Oh, I'm stuck in traffic." His ex-wife, sorry. And it's even in the 2006 Santa Claus 3, Tim Allen is taking calls on his cell phone, and that signals, that's like semiotics, that's movie language for this is a bad person because they're talking on a cell phone.
They're distracted driver,
which is just something that has totally changed about the world today. And here's what I have to say. We have to go back. We have to go back to when if you used a phone in front of other people, you were a bad person. That's all.
That is so true. It's like, I have to, like, it's like in the Christmas, I have to take this. I have to take this call. Like, it's for my boss, honey. I'm so sorry. Like that trope. It's like, oh, dad, you hate us. That is hilarious.
Yeah, it communicated to you instantly. I think most famously in Steven Spielberg's Hook, Robin Williams keeps taking calls on his giant phone during the school play. And you watched that and thought, this guy's an asshole.
Wait, no, the best version of that is the new fiance in Twister when she's like, yes, Lord, no, tell me about his penis. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I'm just in a truck. Oh, there's cows. She's business lady. She doesn't deserve that man. Nuh-uh.
Sign up for our Patreon to hear our Twister commentary where we talk all about the sex therapist on the cell phone.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. So Scott Calvin and his little son Charlie, Eric Lloyd, who, as I mentioned, he was in Heart and Souls, and he has the scene in Heart and Souls where the ghosts say, like, we can't be with you anymore, Charlie.
Matt.
And he goes, he just wails and cries.
He's such a good crier, and it breaks my fucking heart.
And then he does it in this movie at tons of times, which I didn't remember.
Well, I don't know who came first or what laid a chicken, but this is why he's in either one of them. They need a kid that can cry and break heart.
Yeah, Heart and Souls was first. They saw that movie and like, okay, that's the kid. He can cry. He can break your fucking heart. Wendy Crewson is the ex-wife Laura, who has a Mia Wallace haircut for some reason.
I was just going to say, when did Pulp Fiction come out in relation to this movie?
Came out in 94.
Yeah, I think it came out October, so it was in theaters at the same time as this. So you could do a double feature of this haircut.
That'd be great. That's a wild double feature. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
Wait, I can give you that haircut. I still have my fake bangs for when we did the Pulp Fiction episode.
Beautiful. There. You look like a very cold ex-wife.
I look just like her.
So he burns the turkey, and they go.
He also bought a turkey. Okay, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie's a little.
Give him a break. No, Charlie's perfect.
So they go to Denny's. Now, I got to tell you, this Denny's sequence, I think, is like 25% of the reason the movie loomed so large in my memory.
Because your dad loves Denny's?
Oh, well, my whole family loved Denny's. This is one of the great Denny's movies. And watching the movie, I would have guessed, if you say, how much time do they spend at the Denny's? I'd be like, I don't know, 35 minutes.
That's how much.
It is over so fast. I'm like, I was so disappointed. Like, I thought we spent so much time at this Denny's.
They got
I don't know. Nothing happens at the Denny's. It's
just depressing dad. It's just like in Parenthood where McDonald's is the depressing dad drop-off location. It's just signals divorce.
Definitely. Yeah. That and Wendy's for me were always the two meals.
Yep.
Well, Wendy's is a divorce place?
Wendy's for me is where you go when you're sick. And McDonald's is where you go when your dad's done with you.
When you're divorced.
But for you, it was a Wendy's, bro?
Yeah, it was Wendy's. Yeah.
How old were you when your parents separated?
Oh, I was 8. Yeah, I was 8. Yeah.
That's a rough age.
That is rough.
I was 5 and I still remembered very well. Want to talk about that for a while or? Yeah, okay, good. I got to play with puppets, work it all out.
Yeah, I was joking with my wife. I was like, because we both grew up like divorced kids, and I was like, we actually look forward to Christmas time because it was double Christmas. Like as we got older, of course, it got over the top. But but we were younger, it sucked for sure. But
like my dad always got it just a little bit wrong. There was this fad of like ankle boots were like the fucking thing, and I'm stupid. I told him I want ankle boots. He gets me full like cowgirl boots, and I'm just like, what the hell is? It's just his presents were always just a little wrong, and always wrapped in newspaper. So Dad Christmas was sad Christmas.
But that's like you're complaining about Charlie not being grateful, but your dad was trying.
Cowboy boots, Matt.
He doesn't know these things. He just heard boots.
Look it up.
What's he gonna look it up on?
Go to fucking JCPenney's and try to find cowboy boots. You can't. That motherfucker went out of his way to find the wrong thing. And he's dead now. So
I'm very, very sorry. Very sorry to hear that.
R.I.P. to Lacey's dad.
Yes, R.I.P. to a legend.
You know what you did, Dad. All right, okay, good.
The movie does a really good job about this being depressing in a realistic, like not so bleak. They don't really lay it on thick. It's just like the restaurant is sparsely populated, but there's a candle on each table.
Well, and they do the like freaking foreign Christmas party over there
the
with
Japanese,
all those.
This was the height of comedy in the 90s. This Japanese businessman.
I thought it was probably a nod to going to an Asian restaurant in A Christmas Story. Well, that horrible.
No, I think it was just like, what's always funny is seeing Japanese businessmen
when they're all together like that.
What sort of wacky hijinks happen? And I think I said this already. He is dressed exactly like my dad. Still
oh my
has
God, you're right.
Shirt.
Like I think I've seen your dad in this exact outfit. Yeah.
So they go back to the house, and Scott is putting his kid to bed, and the kid starts asking him questions about Santa.
Reading him a story.
Well, he's reading the night before Christmas, and then the kid starts asking questions about the Santa logic, and he's kind of half-heartedly putting up with it. Oh, there was this thing earlier where like the the ex-wife and the new stepdad are like, we think that we should be realistic about Santa, and Scott doesn't like that. He wants to keep the magic alive, but then he doesn't want to put that much effort into keeping it alive.
Right. Put a lot of effort in. All right.
It was
just very.
I really liked him.
I gotta agree with Matt. It was pretty half-assed. Yeah.
But the way that he's like tired and ready for Charlie to go to sleep, that's so relatable.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, and then it was
Okay,
and then you're halfway out the door. But Dad, you're like, I was this close to my beer. This close to my beer.
Yeah, it's one fucking night, Scott. Drink some coffee. You can deal with it.
All right, fine. So now he's in the deepest sleep ever, and there's a commotion on the roof. And Charlie wakes up his dad, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard a clatter.
I heard a Rosa clatter. And they go outside, and wouldn't you goddamn know it? No, it's just him. He just goes outside and says, hey, buddy. And that clumsy drunk Santa, I'll say it, he's drunk. He immediately falls down like he's never been on a roof, never been seen by a person, never, like, this is what you do, my man.
You would think if there's one thing you're good at as Santa, it's walking on a roof.
And being surprised. You know how many kids sleep in their living room? Try to catch them. I sleep in my hallway. Try to catch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always did that.
Yeah.
But I think Brock's right, though. I mean, I think he was set up. He's probably drugged. There's just a lot going on that we're not seeing.
Deleted scenes left at the cutting room floor. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The man dies from an elegant fall flat on his back into fluffy, beautiful snow. And Tim Allen takes out the business card, like you do, like a gentleman. You exchange business cards, gotta get information, find out some insurance.
Because he's saying, hey, buddy, you must work at the mall. Let me look for your ID, and then I'll give you a ride back to the mall.
You're such a nice guy on my roof. Okay, you're on a little bit of meth, but you're probably just a nice smell Santa. And then Charlie comes out. There's a whole kerfuffle.
Charlie comes out and he's like, you did it! You killed him!
Yay!
Yeah.
Anyway, the card says put on the suit, and my little Charlie's a rule follower. Put the suit on, Dad.
I do feel like their reaction, like they're like, "Oh yeah, you just killed it." Like he's just like, "What has Charlie seen?" Like it was very like, everything's okay." Like he's just dead. Like it's fine.
Right.
You killed him.
But it is nice that he disappears. So there's no carcass and there's no blood.
That is a very elegant way of the movie to handle, like, okay, this is a kid's movie. And then the dead Santa even like waves his hand. So you're like, see, this is just sort of weird Christmas magic.
Yeah.
Is happening.
You think
it seems like a shit job.
You think they could do that today? Do you think they could do that today and get away with it? Or do you think they would this would be too edgy?
I think this would be too edgy. I think Santa would have to, I don't know, he'd
have to be ready for retirement, and like he'd be faking it, and he'd be putting on his like Bermuda shorts and you're like, no, I'm dead, bye. But you'd have to know Santa were going off to like something he wanted to do, and you trap the new guy. It's not death. It's okay. No, you did it. I don't know what the thing is that he did.
I tell you, he'd disappear into another multiverse. He'd go through a portal.
Santaverse. No, thank you.
Yep. I did want to tell a quick story.
Jesus H. Go ahead.
In regards to Charlie shouting, you killed him. All right. So when I was 19 years old, I hit a deer with my car.
Matt, I've been married to a murderer this whole time.
I don't like to talk
the
about
whole time.
It was an accident. Still like it's many years later. I still have like the trauma of something's just going to come out from the side of the road because deer are so fucking stupid.
Poor deer.
Yeah,
they are.
But you hit the deer with the car and the deer goes flying. It's insane. Okay, so then I called my mom and I'm like, I hit a deer, and she's like, you hit a deer, and she is with my sister. My sister is I'm 16 years older than my sister, so my sister was 3 years old at the time, and she shouts, you hit a deer, and then she turns to my sister and said, Matt hit Rudolph, or Matt killed Rudolph.
Oh my God!
And my sister got so upset. So I don't know. It's fun when you find out that somebody else accidentally killed a magical Christmas thing.
Okay.
That's my story.
Or juror number 2, where it was actually a drunk woman. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Juror number 2.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie.
All right.
Yeah, I liked
and I only said that, Brock, because I knew you'd already seen it, so it's fine. All right. Okay, so I don't know. Enough happens to actually make Tim Allen go up on the roof and put on the suit. Well, because he's chasing his kid up. His kid's going, you don't let your tiny baby kid go up on a slippery ass.
Yeah, all he can say is Charlie, come down from the roof.
Charlie now.
We kept commenting on his pronunciation of roof.
But I do like his whisper. They've got fleas and mites. Don't touch that thing. That magical, mystical thing that got on my roof. Anyway, so he just kind of fumbles and falls right into the sleigh, and he says, whoa, or something, and the reindeer take off into the night.
He's yelling at his kid, let's out of there, go. Charlie. Yeah. Let's go. And then the sleigh takes.
They sure did know what to do. All right, and this neighborhood is full of roofs that are perfect for landing a giant fucking sleigh. Every single roof is identical, and it takes so long, each of these. So like all my adult brain can think is like, how are you going to do this all night? How are you going to do that? And I'm sorry, you just went all the way down a chimney to give one Raggedy Ann doll to... What? What kind of Santa experience is this? I also feel vindicated, though, when I see that he puts presents under the tree unwrapped. My mom never wrapped Santa presents. That's how you know they were from Santa. And Matt's mom and dad are crazy. They're out of their minds, and they have special Santa Claus paper, and they wrap those presents. Who's got time?
That's how you knew it was from Santa.
Time? No, you know.
I might have to take that into consideration for my kids. I kind of like that. As you said that.
It's more magical. My brother would get a sofa. I would get a sofa, and all my Santa stuff would be spread out and displayed. And I just walk to my sofa and go, I love the way my mom did it.
Brock, were your Santa presents wrapped or unwrapped?
They were wrapped. Like it would be like from Santa. But then as I got older, I'm like, the handwriting's kind of simple. But
I'm comparing this to last year.
I like the unwrapped idea because that is cool. Because it's like he doesn't have time. He's gotta go. He's gotta throw home. Like he's gotta be around the world. Okay, yeah, y'all might have. I might have to get back to you on that.
Thank you.
The danger with the wrapping. Yeah. Because Santa's presents are in different wrapping paper from the presents from your parents. The danger is what happened to me when I found the Santa wrapping paper under my mom's bed.
You fucking.
But this, dangerous. It is funny. Like these specific Christmas questions will like divide couples up. Like, what do you mean you don't wrap your presents or Christmas? What do you mean you wrap them? That's insane.
We're about to co-parent. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right. So then we get to see him kind of just figure out this first night being mean to perfectly sweet children, and it's what you do when you have a montage of someone taking big presents out of a small bag. There's a canoe or kayak.
Yeah, and this is where you see that all the houses that he visits are completely lit. It's all the lights are on in all the houses he goes into. And
busted Santa.
Some of the okay. Just complaining about the movie. The very basic thing.
We don't do that on this podcast.
Also, some of these jokes are very like he's like, what did it feel like, Dad? It felt like America's Most Wanted.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, he hates it. This is not his thing, and he's lactose intolerant. And anyway,
he's not lactose intolerant. He's just telling the girl that to be an asshole.
He totally is.
Fine, whatever. No, I think he becomes unlactose intolerant because he becomes Santa Claus.
That's a read. That's certainly a read.
It is a read. It's the correct read. But over time, he's really bonding with Charlie. Charlie's having the time of his life. Charlie didn't even want to come over to his house at the beginning of this. He did nothing but disappoint Charlie every step of the way. And so he's like, fuck yeah, this is crazy. I'm going to get a CAT scan. This can't be happening. But we're both going on this acid trip together, and my son loves me. I think it's really sweet.
I think the movie is doing a good job with that.
Of showing that
the evolution. My kid suddenly really enjoys spending time with me. I almost don't know what this is like.
Exactly. And you really understand it by the time that they both go to sleep in that amazing looking sleigh bed that's at the North Pole, and they're both just like smiling at each other and fall asleep looking at each other. It's so sweet. All right. So they pull up to the worst looking North Pole set I've ever seen, and Matt gets obsessed with the song that plays for some reason. Did you want to?
This song is fucking. You know this song that's playing when they land at the North Pole.
No one knows this.
So song. It's like, yeah, I went down a whole rabbit hole about this song. It's like, and now it's time. It's Christmas bells, and everyone but the. Well, wait, that's when the song starts picking up. At first, it's like this woman just warbling. She's like,
It's like
You
Bjork.
see the bells.
Okay. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
It's like, was this song written for the movie? What the fuck is this? It's by this artist named Lorena McKennitt. She is an Enya like new age world music.
Like Pure Moods.
Yes, Pure Moods. She sold 20 million albums. Never heard of her. Looked on Spotify. Never heard of any of these songs.
But Matt did add this to his playlist.
Oh yeah, I love this shit.
This kind of shit.
This is what I listen to when I'm reading or writing. I love weird ass world music. Anyway, pay attention next time you're watching this movie and pay attention to this song. It's insane. But they get led into the North Pole facility. They see the factory. Reindeer are teleporting in. Little children, elves are running around.
No one gives a shit. This is a new Santa. They all are looking at him, though. They're just like, let's check out the new guy.
In the caption, somebody says, look, here comes the new Santa. So they're aware, here's new Santa.
It's magic.
But who cares?
Well, they care because they want to see what the new boss is like. You know, it's like okay, well, management's changed again. They're hundreds and hundreds of years old. They've been through a lot of them. Santa is mortal for some reason, but the elves are not. And
it's funny. I mean, it is funny.
You're the head elf. You're the big guy in charge. Is he? Because you're all talking to him like he's a piece of shit. So,
Well, the movie gets a lot of mileage out of the joke of like he's talking to who he perceives as children and they're just being sarcastic assholes back to him.
Right.
And he's flustered and doesn't know what to do about it. You know, who's in charge here? You are.
Yeah.
And then
you guys know he's new. Quit being an ass.
Right. You just said he's new.
You'd think, there'd be some kind of onboarding program.
Okay, but then, you still got like 20 years with the same guy. So every 20 years they get to fuck with somebody. I think this is the only new person that ever comes in.
They're doing this on purpose, you're saying. Okay,
it's the only new person that ever comes in. It's the only fun they ever get. It's like, let's haze the new guy.
Yeah, like even looking at this scene, I feel like the North Pole, like I don't know how you feel about this, Matt. Like I think like bright, I think like fantastical, and this is just kind of like, I don't know, it could be like any mall North Pole or something.
No, I mean it looks shittier than a mall. It looks like just the basics of how to decorate, because we did Home Alone 2 weeks ago, and that toy store in that movie, which is a fictional toy store, but they did decorate it very nice. Like this is just for some reason a skill this movie doesn't have. Although, my memory of this as a kid is this is the most magical place you've ever seen. So I guess it works. It just doesn't work past a certain age. We meet Bernard, David Krumholtz. And again, when I was a kid, I was like, if you asked me to guess how old David Krumholtz in this movie is, I would be like, I don't know, 44. And he's 16. He's just a little older than the other children actors.
Okay, I did not know that. Oh wow. Yeah,
this is David Krumholtz's his first movie role was Addams Family Values. His second is this. And
he's a fucking
he's a treasure.
He's a treasury drim. He's great. Jim.
And he's the one who starts telling him like, okay, listen, the Santa Claus, the line in the contract. And now they're explaining the Santa Claus. And what a weird title for a children's movie. What child, like to me as a kid, I was like, I don't know, he's the Santa Claus. It's Santa Claus, but with the in front of it. Not understanding what a clause is.
Yes, well, some jokes are for the adults, Matt.
Yeah.
Try to keep up.
They got to buy the tickets. Yep, they got to buy the tickets.
You leave tomorrow morning. You have 11 months to get your affairs in order. You're due back here on Thanksgiving.
And I thought that meant every year that's the way it was going to work. And then I realized for the first time watching it this time, like, no, he lives at the North Pole forever now. He got 11 months to get...
In the first year, we'll give you some time. Yeah. Wrap up your mortal business.
Right. Figure out...
That's wild on paper. Like to think about that. Like, enjoy the last year of your life.
They get a line of mileage out of that snow globe. Otherwise, it is completely cruel. But the idea that Charlie can just shake it. But it's really sad, Matt, Brock. It's as Charlie gets older and older, he shakes that globe less and less.
Like the little boy in the Polar Express.
Is that what the Polar Express is about?
Well, you can only hear the bell or whatever. When you believe in Santa Claus.
I'm talking about wanting to talk to his dad.
It's the same thing.
No, never mind.
Yeah.
I just mean your kids don't call when they're in college. That's all I meant. Both of you ruined it. All right, go on.
It is very sad to think. My kid has a magical portal to me and he doesn't even care anymore.
Right. He broke it even. I had to get him a new one. You know how much those things cost.
What would you do if you had to be Santa Claus? Like, what my first order of business would be like, well, I'll just find someone else. Here, you take the suit.
Like the smile curse, you just got to pass it on.
You got to pass it on, exactly. Yes, or it follows.
I haven't seen it smile curse. Well, I mean, I think it would be a lot harder to accept if it weren't for his body changing. I mean, you look completely different now. You have different sentiments. You care about things you never cared about before. It kind of just grooms him to be like, well, I guess I'm going to be a fucking Santa now. I mean, this is how I look. Kids already seem to know it. Reindeer already know it. They don't really give him any choice. So you're not going to pass it up. Like, now you're just going to look like a crazy fuck the rest of your life and probably get arrested for interactions with children. So go ahead and be a Santa. Live with elves.
I mean, in a way, it's like, okay, so like I had problems. Now I don't have to worry about it.
Right, yeah. What happens to his mortgage? Right. What happens to his I guess that's his affairs.
Am I legally dead now?
Ah, you're right. Huh.
So they take Scott and Charlie into this room where there's a permanent puppet show going on, and then the little elf Judy comes in and he's like, hey, you look pretty good for your age. And she said, thanks, but I'm seeing someone in rapping. What a weird joke.
Yeah, that didn't work for me. Nah, I was just going to say that didn't work. Nope. Yeah. And then him pulling out his box with the puppets were like, ah! I thought that was funny. But yeah, the age joke, I'm like, ooh, risque. Not happening today.
Yeah. Right.
So the first time I watched this movie this week, when she declines what she thinks are his romantic advances, I was like, oh, that's so weird. Then I watched it today. I was like, no, it's good. I like it.
It's kind of funny. Yeah. Well, and it's like, it's how he plays it off. He is completely disinterested. So that's why it works. It's her confusion. Otherwise, it would be gross. Because, I mean, we're all so used to that. Is like with freaking, when I like Star Search, Ed McMahon. Sorry, okay, now I'm showing my age. But like when Britney Spears was on Star Search for the first time, Ed McMahon's like, so do you have a boyfriend? And she's like 12. And it's like, that's all men ever did with like little starlets. It's just, hey, you want to fuck when you're older?
Yeah, like Emma Watson from Harry Potter. There was like countdowns to when she's legal.
Ew.
Online, yeah. Yeah.
Grass on the Quidditch field.
Ugh.
Play ball. All right, just saying.
Oh, no.
Okay, and also whenever the kids start lining up to sit on his lap, like it's because he so doesn't want it, but then he gets up and he's like, they lined up. I didn't do that.
Oh, that
you know.
Funny.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like, okay, Santa, we're trusting you with great power, and you're going to have access to kids and vulnerable people. We need to only look for people who so don't want to do this.
We don't, no scoutmasters, no one coaching any freaking gymnastics, no one working with child actors. You're all out.
It's like in juror number 2 when they're like, you're a good juror because you don't want to be here. You're a good Santa Claus because you don't like children.
We don't want a Santa that likes children.
Yeah.
Got it.
The next morning they wake up back at home, but Scott's still in the Santa Claus pajamas.
He's rocking them. Looks great.
And then the mom comes in and Charlie's like, hey, we went flying on the reindeer to the North Pole. Dad was Santa. It was a great time. Hey, anyway, Dad, thanks for a great time at the North Pole. I'll see you soon. And you know, the parents, the mom and the new stepdad, like, really, Scott, what's going on with that? Judge Reinhold is Neil. I don't think we mentioned that. I love him. I like positive as a step parent. Representation's important. I like positive depictions of step parents in movies.
I think he is.
Stepdad. He's a fair stepdad.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He cares.
They have a lot of emotional scenes, especially whenever he goes missing. A little, different things.
Yeah.
The structure of this movie is pretty bizarre because we have the opening 30 minutes, which you would think would just be the whole movie. Like a guy has to take over for Santa Claus for one night.
It does the depressing thing that you mentioned about the Simpsons episode, which is that it does full fucking Christmas and then ends with not Christmas at all. I mean, except for that they end on Christmas again, but like they take you through a whole year of no Christmas. It is weird to be drugged along that long through a Christmas movie. But
it's not just that, but cut to school. Now you're in school in January. Like there's nothing more depressing than that.
I'll say it was really jarring. It was really jarring. But I'm like, oh wow, I forgot because I knew there was some time. But like again, like I don't think it's interesting because you said you saw this as a younger kid, right? Like Matt, like I wonder, like how people would not be bored during this. I don't know because there's not a lot to grab their attention.
No, I think that the premise is so strong, and I think it was so funny. Like, oh, he's getting fat. He wants to eat cookies.
Yeah, you're just looking at different things. The jokes are all going over your head.
Yes, and Lacey has this term lily padding. Like you're just remembering the things you like.
You know something good's coming, so you don't mind you go pee, get a snack or whatever. You like look down at your phone and then the thing again.
Does it say like why he forgets too, Scott? Like because he does forget, right? Until the snow globe.
No, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, he's a logical person that, right. Like, I mean, just a vivid dream. He's got a million things to show him that it's real.
I was trying to pinpoint where in the movie does he have a moment where it clicks for him. It doesn't really. He just kind of always knows it, but he's in denial.
He always, that's a big.
Isn't it the snow globe though? When he's like, "Remember, Dad?" He gives him the snow globe. No.
He's in the pajamas. He never forgets. Okay, look, right now I went to the store and I got a tiny little bit of an abduction happening with like a UFO, maybe like a third encounter kind of a thing where like there's lights and my car shakes. But then I continue to the store and I get the milk and I come back. Do I tell anybody? It's kind of a pain in the ass. I know something weird happened. I think it would take another person in the car with me, forcing me to tell the story and sound like the fucking crazy person that I'm going to sound like. I just think it's a pain. He needs to get back to work.
Okay, I'm tracking.
It's an interesting tension because he doesn't want it to be true and his kid will not shut up about it.
And loves him.
Yeah.
And loves him.
And he's like, I've wanted you to love me, not because of this though. And also,
a little bit cheating.
You're really making me look bad.
Making me look crazy. Okay. I'm tracking.
All right. I'm finally a good dad, but you're making me look like a really bad dad and actual things could happen. Like I can lose custody. It's like, and he gets this like double-edged sword perfectly at this school scene where it's everybody bring your dad or mom to talk about their profession. And he brings both of his dads, which is an interesting choice. And in real time, he gets to see like, oh my God, I switched spots with fucking the great and powerful Neil. He wants me to talk about my job first. And then they do, and it's awkward and it's alien abduction story. And so then they get immediately called to the principal's office where it's like, look, this is weird. You're making your kid weird. What you do, but I'm finally doing the good thing and I'm a bad guy. Oh no.
They keep having this joke with Judge Reinhold he's a psychiatrist and he's always talking about like your feelings and the way that this makes us feel. I guess in 94, this was still like a psychiatrist. That's a little wacky.
That's more like a chiropractor. That's not a real doctor.
Yeah, you're not a real doctor. Yeah.
He's not a doctor. He's but like a psychiatrist is literally a medical doctor. Yes, a psychologist is not a doctor. Yeah, he can fucking prescribe you pills.
He's got a little notepad, give you freaking Klonopin like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
They go to the zoo and see polar bears. I've never seen a polar bear at a zoo.
They're not in the zoo.
They must be, though.
All right.
Or maybe they were back then.
There's some kind of national park or...
No, this is a zoo.
With just free-range reindeer?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like our zoo has peacocks, they've got reindeer.
Exactly.
Well, it's just over and over again, this push and pull of like, I don't want to gaslight you, Charlie. I do know what you're talking about. This did happen, but this is causing like real havoc in your life. Let us go on the third walk that I've had to take you on where I'm going to tell you to stop being a freak. And then it's the deep, like, let's keep it a little secret. It's our secret. Ooh, it makes people happy. You want me to pay you? I hate secret talk. I really hate it. But
it is what you need to do from the very beginning. Like, hey, Charlie, yes, I know. We did the Santa thing. Don't tell anyone or else I'll die.
Christmas magic. He could have just based it around like people need to believe in Santa Claus, not because there's proof, but because they believe. So you tell your friend you're taking away the magic. You get to be in a secret club where you know Santa, but everyone doesn't need this kind of proof, Charlie. See, that's how you lie to your kid. I mean, that's how you you groom your kid.
It's also the weird thing of like, so this is a world where Santa exists, but none of the adults believe in Santa, even though I guess every year presents just materialize in their living room, don't know where they came from, but there is no such thing as Santa. You have to stop believing in that at a certain point. So the movie's walking a very strange tightrope.
Yes. If you can hear him on your roof as he did, you can see him in the street as that delivery guy did. You can, come on, guys.
But I think this is like the stretch, like Brock was talking about, like seeing it as an adult, like this movie is just out of gas at this point. There is no engine to this whatsoever.
I guess I was just so in on the like gaslighting of children and the needing to believe them and the push and pull of co-parenting, where normally I'd be on the side of Neil and the mom because be a good dad. You weren't a good dad and now you're doing something else weird with him and you're fucking up his life and fuck you, who are you to do this? Like I would be on their side, but in this movie I'm like, but guys, but it's Tim Allen and he like really likes this kid now.
They jump to legal intervention pretty fast.
But
yes,
that
really
makes
fast.
you think, okay, but Neil is so aggravated that once again, business dad is late on Christmas night. He's late to his own house, and they makes him late to Neil's family. It's that kind of thing that over time will really strain a co-parenting relationship. So they've been on the edge for a while. This huge, you need that big push.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely some context. This is not the first time like he's not been there.
Yes.
I will agree for sure.
Right. And now he's crazy on top of it.
Right.
And he doesn't look nearly as hot. He's having a reverse Spider-Man. No, thank you.
Yeah, the David Cronenberg body horror starts happening now. He gets out of bed. I do
too.
He gets out of bed fatter. Very depressing for him to, once he starts gaining tons of weight, he gets on the scale and the scale tells him a weight that I would cry for joy if I achieved 193 pounds. And he goes into work and his coworkers are like, you hear somebody gasp when they see him. And I was like, Lacey, this is insane. You're like, no. It makes sense. I would gasp too.
If he's a svelte guy 1 week ago and then comes in with 45 pounds of weight, it is odd.
I would think, oh, he's fatter than I remember. Or I guess he's just dressed bad.
No, because this is the kind of office where they all fuck. So like clearly they've seen him naked. They've had a schwitz with him. Hello.
Okay, yeah, they've definitely had a schwitz. Okay. It's just it's very funny that somebody literally just gasps out loud when they see him.
I like all of his interactions with adults. I like all the parts where he's getting Santa-fied and just saying the most like wholesome shit ever and ordering all the things and extra fudges. He just like he so loves life all of a sudden.
Yeah, he so loves desserts, and he doesn't question it. He's just like, but no, now I love desserts. What are you talking about?
He was lactose intolerant before.
Okay.
And now he's just living the fucking dream.
That joke was funny. On the side.
That was funny.
That was pretty good.
So if the Denny's loomed very large for me, this is the other scene that loomed so large for me, is this corporate meeting where they get to order meals from a leather-bound menu. It's like, I guess that's what it's like when you have a job. You can just order.
It kind of is.
You order, I'll have a salad dressing on the side. What kind of salad? Not surprise me.
A green salad, Matt.
Somebody else says just a salad dressing on the side. So yeah, Tim Allen orders all this dessert, and his boss is looking at him like he's a fucking freak.
They can forgive all of this, Matt. It's when he doesn't like the toy they're making, and he also wants to build a toy that can last, a simple toy to enrich their minds. Excuse me? The whole point was that we were going to make it fall apart. Although, like, come on, even in, like, the big toy companies, they're not that cynical. They just make toys where you need more. You need to build it up. You need more. You don't make a shit toy that falls apart instantly and you replace parts. Who's replacing parts on a fucking toy that broke after 10 minutes?
Well, it's just
Get your shit
we've
together.
only lived in a world where toys are just shitty and just made out of this garbage.
No.
But toys used to be durable. They used to hold up. Yeah.
No, I'm saying all the big toy companies now, they hold up. They don't make money by making them shit and then they fall apart. They make money by needing to expand the world and making you feel FOMO if you don't get the expansion packs. Max,
that's true.
Keep up.
That's true.
I was at Walmart today for a really long time.
You're just looking at toys?
Yes, because I just knew they were going to have those number block things that our kid really, really wants. And they're so not popular. I knew there'd be 2 of them on the shelf and that they were hiding. And I walked up and down and up and I got dizzy and then I came home.
I hope you'll be okay.
It was a bad time.
Speaking of toys, Legos are hella expensive now. Inflation.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh my God.
Golly, I was shopping for my nephew, and I'm like, geez, like, they were not that expensive growing up. No way.
No. If you want to get them for $10 or less, you're talking about the kind that come in a little bag. It's like a sad, they won't even give you a cardboard box. You're going to 20 just to get the box that's this big. Anytime someone's like, oh, he's really into Legos now. I'm like, oh, I'm really not going to buy him anything then. So,
well, the whole thing with Legos forever was like, you build whatever you want with it.
Every time someone gives you a set, you've expanded your collection.
And then a Scott Calvin came along and he's like, no. We'll license IP. Yeah. And then you have to just buy and buy specific sets. Lord Business said, we need to.
And they're so hard to put together. There's like 50 pages in the book of how to put it together that you're not taking this freaking Mandalorian apart. That thing is staying a Mandalorian for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yes. You assemble it and that's it. No more utility.
No one touch it. Don't even look at it.
Yeah, it's a great business model.
We have a grand piano where it opens and you play it that my kid built out of Legos. It was so expensive. It took 2 straight days of them not sleeping or eating to put it together.
Wow.
And it's amazing, but it just sits on a shelf and we just stare at it and we're scared of it because what if it breaks?
Yeah.
I should have put it in my background, but we have the Home Alone Lego, like the McAllister house one that took us
Oh my
forever.
God.
It's really cool because you can open
Go
it
get
up.
it now.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Like you can actually do some stuff with, but yeah, I agree with you. The rest is just, all right, you're done.
You can make your own traps?
Yes, you could.
Stop. It's like Mousetrap the game, but you build it.
Peter Boyle is his boss. Peter Boyle's in the sequels as a different character, as Father Time in the sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's odd.
Well, you can fill it in your head canon. It can be like, well, he became Father Time. We're just not seeing that happen.
Or maybe he was checking on the new Santa Claus or something, maybe.
Exactly, yes.
Just trying to get an idea of how they make them toys.
So he pulls Scott aside and he's like, you got to get your shit together, man. Look at you. You're telling us we don't need profits, and you have gained a little bit of weight.
45 pounds is not a little bit of weight, Matt.
Scott sees a doctor. He's getting fatter. I like this scene with the doctor because this is most people. The thing about life is most professionals you encounter, it's a job. They just want to get you out of there. So they'll say whatever.
You just like how sweet he is, taking his time.
No, he goes to the doctor.
Well, there you go, buddy.
Yeah, he's like, well, I've gained a ton of weight. And he's like, yeah, you're entering middle age. It's going to happen. And he's like, but my beard is growing super fast. He's like, again, yeah, these things just happen.
Hormonal imbalance. So it's milk and cookies for the weight, hormonal imbalance for the rapid hair growth, and middle age for the graying.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but Scott, you're not being your best advocate. You're not explaining exactly what is.
No, yeah. But as an overweight person, I can tell you when you go tell a doctor any sort of thing, they're like, well, I think that you need to think about more vegetables.
Get more exercise. Right. It's like, but it's an earache. I'm telling you about an earache.
Yeah.
Right.
They listen to his heart and his heartbeat sounds like jingle bells. And then like little kids are coming up to Scott in public and telling him what he wants, what they want. I like
what he wants.
I like this. I like that the magical powers are not like clearly enumerated, but they're happening to him and he doesn't really understand it. But it's like all of a sudden he knows the names of everybody and just intuits whether they're naughty or nice. And then the kids can intuit it as well.
As a kid, I had no idea a whole year went on. I was like, oh, it's Christmas again. They have 2 Christmases in this. I thought because the 45 pounds happens so fast. The rest is over a year, you know, the transformation.
Yeah.
But the rapid hair growth, I guess it just gets to a certain point and it has to be that look for as long as, I don't know, who knows. But
I think it would have been cool, like, maybe, I don't know how, from a script standpoint, like maybe like you see him as he goes through each holiday, like leading up, and like there's this like time thing where it's like
some other indication, because the kid doesn't grow an inch, you know, because it's not really what's happening.
Clear. It's not very clear at all.
Don't even give him a different haircut. Still looks like a little pumpkin pie. The mom has a still very specific hair. I mean, like no one has grown a ear but Calvin, you know, Scott Calvin. So yeah, that was not clear to me as a youth.
The list gets delivered to him because his job is he has to, I guess So here's what you inherit as Santa Claus. You inherit the magical power to look at a name and know intuitively whether the child has been naughty or nice. So that's what they need from Santa. This is how the Santa surveillance panopticon system works. He doesn't have to spy on anybody. He doesn't actually see you when you're sleeping, but he knows. He just knows.
Fucking knows.
But then the co-parenting drama heats up. Laura and Neil, they decide to take legal action. We have a fucking scene where Charlie, like an attorney, takes Charlie's like, Charlie, we need to have a little talk right here. Like, what is this move?
He's crying and like they're pulling him away, and that's a hard fucking scene to watch.
It is.
But I think that whoever I don't remember which of you two said it, but like Neil is secretly driving all of this. He's sick of Scott. He's like, Laura, I hate to say it, it's time we have to talk to an attorney. And then they strip Scott's visitation rights away from him. But we have the little scene where the mom and the stepdad are talking about when they stopped believing in Santa, and it was when they didn't get they didn't get the presents that they wanted. Mm-hmm. Mystery date for her. A weenie whistle for him when he was 3 years old. Scott had told Charlie, like, hey, just we're going to keep this a secret. But when the judge asked to speak with him, he's like, well, I have to tell the judge the truth.
Right.
And that's what gets him his parental rights taken away. The kid
fucked it all up.
He snitched just like his dad.
You're going to get stitches, and stitches are lack of father.
But immediately the next scene, Scott just goes back to their house like a psycho.
That kills me. Like, no, screw court orders.
First just stares into their window like, hey. And then knocks on the door and they're like, Scott? And he's like, oh, hey, guys.
Well, I was just walking by.
And he's like, I guess it's kind of weird. Like right here, he starts off the scene trying to be like, I have to go to the North Pole now. I'm never coming back. So I'm saying goodbye to you forever. Or no, it's not that. It's like, he's like, I know now that I'm bad for you. So let's just say our goodbyes and go our separate ways. But then he looks at the snow globe and he remembers, oh, I am Santa and I have to go to the North Pole. So I'll take you with me. This script is a mess.
Yeah, you're right. That's why, to me, as a kid, I was just like, oh, finally, they're get back to their Christmas break. They had a weird 2 weeks, but now Christmas is happening again.
And then David Krumholtz just, teleports into the kitchen. He's like, hey, guys, time to go back. We got to be getting back. And then the mom comes in and sees that her ex-husband has kidnapped her child.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
That is how most kidnappings happening every year. It is that.
Yes, it's like almost all kidnappings statistically are just
all Miranda
divorced parents. Yep. Yeah. But it's Christmas again. Charlie and Scott go to the North Pole. Meanwhile, there's a massive police hunt for Scott/Santa Claus.
I love that there's a massive police hunt for one missing kid with their dad. That would never.
That's insane.
On. Yeah. All these resources for one fucking kid.
He's adorable, an adorable little
rich white boy.
An adorable wealthy white boy. Yes, exactly.
And his dad's a freak. That's going to make great front paper headlines.
Up at the North Pole, Bernard is doing like a cue from James Bond thing to Scott. He's like, we got all this new gear for you. We got fireproof, whatever. And there's a slow walk montage.
Works for me. ZZ Top.
So he starts delivering presents again. This time he revisits the girl that he yelled at last year. This time she left out soy milk for him because he said he was lactose intolerant. It's
she
so nice.
She also has not grown.
Yeah, she also has not grown.
And still has the same fucking tooth missing. When's that tooth going to grow in, you little freak?
The Charlie.
Plot hole.
Dude, let's write that up on IMDb Goofs.
Right.
Girl hasn't grown. Plot hole.
Her tooths are stupid.
Her tooths are stupid.
Shut up.
Charlie and his dad, they're flying in the sleigh, and Charlie points at Lake Michigan and he's like, look, it's Mom and Neil Street. Can we go there next? So they go, but the cops are waiting there and they arrest Scott.
That was stupid.
Yeah, you should not go there. You're not thinking with your head.
You're thinking with your pole.
It's like it's the middle of the night, but the street is filled with kids. They watch the police haul Santa Claus away.
Because in this reality, it's like Halloween, right?
Yeah.
You go knocking on doors for milk and cookies.
And then they just strand Charlie on the roof. And
I totally melded Elf's ending and this ending together. I kept waiting for them to have to like end in the park and then like sing a Christmas carol to make the mom and dad believe. And it's like, no, that's Elf. That's fucking Elf. Shit. I was relieved that it wasn't that ending.
Back at the North Pole, they know Santa is in trouble, so they deploy the effective liberating flying squad. Elves with attitude.
Ew.
Scott gets interrogated by a cop. Then the elves go to the police station and they say to the cop, "We're your worst nightmare." Elves with attitude. A line Roger Ebert loved. He referenced it in multiple reviews, unrelated to the Santa Claus.
Wait, what? Popo Shisho?
No. He loved the line, "We're your worst nightmare." Elves with attitude.
Oh,
he's like,
I hate that little kid. Fucking hate him.
What don't you like about him?
Little piece of shit, smug little bastard. I hate him. There's a lot of kids in this movie I don't like. The only one I really like is
really.
Charlie.
What about Judy?
She's all right. They're just all a little too. They're not selling it. I'm not buying what they're selling.
I forgot to mention it. This is very important. The Judy scene earlier where she gives him the hot cocoa. She has one of those line readings that sticks in my head for whatever reason. Like a no, not yet from Jurassic Park 3. She says, she's explaining her hot chocolate and she says,
not too hot.
Not too hot. Extra chocolate. Shaken, not stirred. For some, I don't know. I'll be on my deathbed. My children will be visiting me. I'm like, come closer. Come closer. Extra chocolate.
Right. Got it.
It's very sincere. Like it just kind of makes you feel giddy. It's like, oh,
it does.
She's very excited. She's very excited about it.
It's like, I am ancient. I wish I would die. I wish I had a mortal soul. And I've been making hot chocolate for my entire life.
I'm just working on this drink. I cannot die. I live in constant pain. I'm deformed.
Every time there's a new Santa, I get to see the joy in the face of the fuck who fucking drinks it.
God, this is just one of those movies where I have to summarize the plot. And as I summarize the plot, this movie is fucking all over the place.
I'm glad we watched it separately. Maybe I like a lot of movies. You're just in the room and I'm like, oh, I guess I hated that.
Because you always look over at me for a reaction.
Constant. I cannot stop it. I wish my neck would break in that direction so I couldn't go, what's Matt thinking?
My wife, just when I do that, like when it's a movie I've seen that she has, she's like, stop looking at me, damn it.
I know. It's probably, but luckily Matt can't fucking see peripheral anything because he can't turn his head. So he has no idea what I'm like. Huh? The mom and Neil realize they go to their house on the sleigh and they get to see the sleigh, and Mom and Neil realize, oh, you weren't trying to steal my child, you were just taking him for a little ride that I did not tell you yes to.
He's been gone for a month.
Has he?
I mean, I think that,
oh, right.
I think that
Thanksgiving to this.
Report back on Thanksgiving. Now it's Christmas Eve.
Okay, you fucking criminal. That's not okay, man. You ruined their whole December.
Yeah.
Rude.
And they're just standing here like stuffing pitas.
Just stuffing the shit out of them. And they have a tree. They decorated their house. Your kid's missing.
Your kid's missing.
You decorated your house.
There is the scene where Judge Reinhold pulls out Charlie's stocking and he considers it. I guess because like my stepson is maybe dead, but yeah. I don't know.
I guess I could put his ashes in it. Okay, they're not excited enough and they're not mad enough that the Santa bitch took their kid for a month. He's got school, Santa.
Yeah.
He's not going to graduate now.
Yeah, a lot to catch up on.
The task force stuff does make sense. I'm going to retract my statement because I mean a month, that's a long ass time.
That's a long, and I never put that together ever.
Well, because this movie's not that well made, so you don't understand. Time is passing.
You ruined Tim Allen for me, and you've ruined the sweetness of
I've
this
ruined
movie.
it. No,
you ruined it.
No, I like this movie.
Great.
Yeah.
What about me? So this is the part that made me tear up, is when the mom finally is like relieved, because I just see this relief wash over her. It's not the magic of Christmas. She doesn't give a shit that Santa exists. She's just so glad that this man that Charlie is the son of and who he's in love with, who he thinks is a thing, is that thing. That's the relief you see on her face. It's like, okay, you're not crazy. Oh my God, thank God.
What is it that makes her realize it though?
The fucking sleigh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did she see the sleigh?
I don't know. In my head, they do.
I mean, she does later, but it's in the living room where she suddenly says, "Oh my God, it is you." I guess she just sees him and she gets that special feeling in her heart.
She smells the North Pole.
Feeling, yeah, like she like is kind of a kid again. That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah,
that is how it reads. But like, I guess why I got choked up was it was just, thank God you're not that crazy. Oh, okay. This was going to be so much harder, and I get my kid back. Yay!
All in all, a good day.
All in all, a good day.
I think Wendy Crewson is the actress. I think she's very, very good in this scene of crying and realizing it is you. You're Santa Claus. This isn't fucked up.
Oh, right. It was fucked up, and now it's
my understanding of reality is shattered. The laws of physics need to be rewritten.
She's had a year of priming. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then of course after that he gives them their presents, and it's the two presents they stopped believing in Santa over: mystery date and weenie whistle.
I weenie whistle.
He probably got it and he was like, this is a piece of shit.
So I was like, that's a weird ass gift. I'm just gonna. That's what I thought. I'm like,
those were all the rage. Don't make me feel older.
Were they? Okay, all right.
Yeah, all right. It was a big deal because like the weenie mobile would like drive around, and you were lucky if it came to your city, and they handed those out, and it was like only if you had fucking seen that weenie mobile could you be a kid that has a weenie whistle. It's just really good marketing by Oscar Mayer at the end of the day.
It's a present Santa can't get you because you can only get those from.
That's why Neil, clearly he's rich. Look at these sweaters. His parents could have got him anything.
But there's a Santa Claus world. Santa
can get you anything. And I think Neil, as a 3-year-old plotting manipulative little fuck, was like, let's see you do this, Santa. And they couldn't.
Well, this is like when I was two different occasions as a kid. One, all I want for Christmas.
I just made up everything I said. Like, I have no idea if that's how you get a weenie whistle. So I'm just now realizing.
I totally believed you.
I bought it. I was like, wow, that's like that. She knows a kid. Like that actually would be pretty cool. Yeah,
I think that's true. But
she knows a lot about weenie whistles.
Yeah,
I know they handed them out, but I don't know if that's the only way you could have gotten one. I'm sure they sold them at like Walmart or something.
I had a price for when I was at an old job. I had to get a quote for renting the Wienermobile, and I was like, oh no, we won't be doing that.
Do they have one in every city? I've definitely seen one. They definitely have one here.
You could do it here.
Are you talking about the person I think you're talking about?
Yeah. He wanted to have an event like, let's get the Wienermobile over here. Get people to come over to my office, and they'll get wieners, and then they'll want to hire me as an attorney.
Like, just get a food truck, man. No one wants this Wienermobile.
So like two occasions. One, I was like 4 years old. I was obsessed with the Care Bears, but I think I've told this story before.
Yes, you have.
I got into Care Bears after Care Bear Mania had died down.
Oh,
but I was like, well, that doesn't matter. Santa can get me a Care Bear toy. He can build it in his workshop.
Yeah, it's just a fucking bear.
In a pre-eBay world, my parents had no ability to acquire a Care Bear because they weren't sold anymore. So my mom told me that the elf who makes Care Bears had the flu.
And Rudolph is dead. So a lot of
I killed Rudolph. I gutted him like Tywin Lannister.
No, the elf that makes these bears can see the future. He knows that you do a horrific crime to their main deer, and sorry.
He took PTO. Yeah. That's what my parents would have told me. He took PTO.
Really? They would say PTO?
Yeah, I think. I mean, elves need HR or something because I feel like they're low key.
They work year round. It's not cool. They can't even take coffee breaks or drink coffee.
It is funny with like every family has different like lore about Santa and how this whole system works.
Yeah,
and it's like why don't kids just like compare notes? Yeah. Because my parents would always say,
"Wait a second."
If I did anything bad, my parents would say, "I'm calling Santa," and I'd be like, "No."
Yep, mine did too.
Exactly.
Ooh, okay.
If you and me had, mine would call Jesus. But if you and me had ever met in real life, I would have just said my presents are not wrapped. And you'd be like, but mine are. And we'd been like, wait, the fuck? What is happening? You know, it just takes one note comparison. Are we taught to like, let's keep it as, this is just me and my Santa. If I start telling people, maybe I'll get less gifts because I got a shit ton from Santa.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when I stopped believing. I don't like my parents never told me. It was just suddenly they stopped talking about it.
I also don't remember. This is an interesting point you're making because I also don't remember ever talking with anyone, any kids, about Santa. Like it's just something you experience and you do and you know it's coming and it's yay. But it's like, I never had, that's like such a big deal that Santa exists. I almost think it was like a superstition. Like, okay, don't think about it too much or he'll stop existing. I just remembered like always thinking it was a choice. So I didn't want anything to like ruin my Santa faith.
Because when I was 10 years old, this is the other one. I was 10 years old and my cat ran away.
Yeah.
And
oh no,
like in November. And then I was like, I was kind of at the age where it's like, I have a terrifying suspicion that Santa doesn't exist, but I want to believe. So I wrote, Dear Santa, the only thing I want for Christmas is my cat back.
He's not fucking animal control, Matt. He's dealing with everyone around the globe. Selfish.
Yeah.
You could have just asked for a kitten. He can get you a kitten.
That's not what I wanted.
Well, you're a little bitch. You're a little freaking entitled jerk.
So Laura, Wendy Cruz said, she's like, here, Scott, I have something for you. These legal papers, throw them in the fire. Now that is not legally binding, but again, he's not subject to the laws of man anymore, so it doesn't matter.
He's Totenklausen. So whatever.
He's Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas.
Bernard shows up and he's like, hey, a sport, don't worry. I know you're going to miss your dad because he's going to go away forever to another dimension, but you can get him back at any time by shaking this snow globe. And later Charlie is like outside. He's very sad. He misses his dad because he hasn't seen him in 30 minutes, but he shakes the snow globe.
It's 10 minutes.
And his dad comes back. He's like, Charlie, what's the deal?
I was on my way to Cincinnati or whatever.
It was Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Same thing, right?
No, I live in Ohio. Two completely different cities.
Brock, where you live, what allegiance to the sports teams? Which are you, Cincinnati or Cleveland?
Cincinnati.
C-I-N, Cincinnati.
Bengals, baby.
You're geographically closer to Cincinnati, or is it like how do people figure this out?
No, I'm geographically closer, but I just like the Bengals more. And Browns are just poverty franchise. They're just terrible. I mean, Deshaun Watson has more battery cases than they do touchdowns this year. So I mean, that tells you all that you need to know.
Yeah, I think he'd need like a significant amount of touchdowns to catch up to the amount of battery cases he has.
Yeah.
Can I be released? Please? Can we wrap this up? I love both of you, but come on.
Where are we in the movie? I think that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, we're done. Yay,
oh, okay.
Santa Clausen.
Yay. All right, we're going to go around the room and give our final thoughts and our Lacey, my God. Final thoughts and star rating out of 5 for the Santa Claus 1994, starting with our guest, Brock.
Final thoughts, good. Not one that's in that like I naturally gravitate towards too, but enjoyable enough. I think my daughter will probably, I think she had more enjoyment out of the sequel, so I could see us naturally gravitating because they're more kid friendly, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have more appreciation knowing I didn't know it was Tim Allen's first movie. You know, so this is obviously a big break for him. He had a huge year. And he's the big reason why I like a lot of the movie for sure.
Yes.
So 3 out of 5, which is good. Even though people on TikTok give me crap all the time. I recommend anything above a 3-star. So
that's exactly Matt's stance.
That is my stance.
That's
yeah,
his exact
3 stars
thing.
means
anything 3 and above. Like it's not a bad thing to see 3. You need to save those other digits for the specials.
Yeah. Also, people on TikTok, go suck a lemon.
Hey, those are sour.
I mean, the point of our podcast, the reason we started is like take an honest look at the movies you feel nostalgic about.
Right.
Be honest, some are good, some are not so good,
right.
and it's okay.
And it's okay to love things that are bad. I love all kinds of variations of what is good. And I would have never noticed the set pieces until you told me to. And now I think they're shit. But I love when I love a movie, I love the faults in it too.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the movie for me. It's like if your kid has an ailment and it's part of their personality or whatever, if you could tweak it, would you?
Same thing.
They'd be a different kid, you know?
Yeah. And the only thing I would say is like, I think I didn't remember how slow it was in the middle. I remember the beginning very well and the end. And so it's like, it's kind of little muddled there in the middle.
And it is, it's only a 90-minute movie, so it's like it sucks that for so long in the middle you're just like you're just dragging,
dealing with some family court issues.
Kind of best. Like you like a lot of the stuff that you know that's coming, so you're sitting through the stuff that you're kind of like but because you know it's gonna eventually pay off.
Yep.
I would be very curious. Yeah. What is a kid right now? How would they view this movie? Because I think that, I don't know, my general attitude is like, people don't, I mean, yeah, people's tastes change, but it's like the premise of like a normal guy turns into Santa Claus, I think would always be appealing. Mm-hmm. I'd be interested to see what a kid today thinks. I think our older kid liked this movie. Yeah. But
that was years ago. Like, yeah.
I don't know. What's your star rating, Lacey?
3.5. Okay. Because it made me cry.
And you were laughing a lot.
Tim Allen, when you said Bill Murray, I was like, okay. Now, Bill Murray, I find funnier than Tim Allen, but Tim Allen has my sense of humor. There's something about him. He can just say a line, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway,
this guy.
So 3.5 because I like the comedy, I like the delivery, I like the way they handle co-parenting, and I like all the relationships are really sweet. And this movie's all about how much love they feel for this kid, how much they all want to protect this kid. And I just think that's really nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
None of it's about I want to be the favorite. It's just about protecting Charlie. It's just they don't all understand or trust each other enough to not fight about it.
Yeah. Okay, I like all that stuff. I give it 3 stars. I'm with Brock. It's it's a mild recommendation.
I feel you inching.
I will not budge.
You're grinchy. Why did I say wiener? I need to go to bed. Okay.
I think Tim Allen is really good, and I think he's both funny and I think he handles the drama, and he's like good at transforming both how he views the situation and like how much he's embracing being Santa Claus. And you also feel throughout like how much he cares about his son. And it's really impressive for somebody whose only acting was on a sitcom, which is just a very different style of acting. The movie suffers from not having a real movie director and from having a very messy script. And I feel like with a better director, we might have like a top tier, A Christmas Story level classic. But I don't know. People still love it anyway. And that's there you have it.
We've done it.
Is what I have to say.
Yay.
Movie Talk with Brock. Thank you so much for
his name's just Brock.
I'm resetting that so that people know where to. Okay. Brock, thank you so much for spending 2 hours talking about Tim Allen and the Santa Claus with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I look forward to coming back whenever that is. Yeah. You guys are a blast and a ton of fun.
We can do it in person once we're in the Cleveland.
Yeah.
There you go.
He doesn't live in Cleveland.
Shut up, Matt. How far do you live from Cleveland?
I will make a trip just to Cleveland.
He's going to make a trip and he's going to check it twice.
Tell everybody where to find you online once more.
Yeah, so Movie Talk with Brock on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And Twitter, X, all that good stuff.
And soon to be on Blue Sky.
Yeah, I'll get have.
And next week, let's see. This is coming out.
What is this?
This is coming out December 20th.
What is this?
December 27th, we're taking the week off to honor Tim Allen.
This is Caleb's
Then we'll be back. We'll be back in January 4th with episode 142 about the movie That Awkward Moment.
I don't know what that is.
With our friend Caleb Hogan returning to the show for the first time since 2018. And he picked this movie. I guess I had heard of this movie. Yeah, I'd heard of it, but looking forward to talking about.
He likes happy things. It's probably a fun, happy, funny movie.
I'm excited to talk about something newer. I mean, this is still a 10-year-old movie, but I like the idea of something that we totally missed because we were cynical adults when this came out, so
just
we have no idea about it.
balls deep in children. Not raising them.
So that's
probably a better way to say that.
That awkward moment.
Okay.
Otherwise. Tell a friend about our podcast, please. And remember to check out our Patreon.
So tell a rich friend.
Patreon.com/loadbearingbeams. We will launch on January 1st with a brand new episode about a movie that we haven't determined yet.
No, we're doing Get Out. I'm already set on that.
You've been waffling.
I know, but now I'm a pancake and it's Get Out.
All right, so we'll be doing Jordan Peele's Get Out. Good. That's it. Good.
Get Out. Great.
Good movie.
Well, Get Out. I love you. Goodbye.
Lazy. Load Bearing Beam Pod on YouTube. You can follow me on Letterboxd at MattStokes9. You can follow Lacey on Letterboxd at Load Bearing Lacey. And please do check out my band Rural Route 9. We do the music for the show, including the song you're hearing right now, the theme song, the interstitial music, all of that. Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your music. Rural Route 9.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye and Merry Christmas.
Three, four. Everybody, love Americans.